start doing the show like we would do a show, and then you and I are just gonna have to go watch it later and see what happened. Or maybe we'll see in the comments that somebody says, "Oh yeah, we're totally getting you." Um, it just popped up and says that YouTube is online, so uh, Ustreamer says YouTube is online, but YouTube still says no data.
I just got a push notification saying that Brushfire Mind is streaming.
Groovy. And
Groovy.
I'm refreshing the live stream on YouTube. It appears to be connecting.
No, you're streaming, dude.
Okay, groovy. Facebook does not appear to be live yet, so I don't know what's going on there, but ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and pretend like we know what we're doing. Um, so good morning. It's Friday, and that means it's Firearms Friday. So, Cameron, what do we have for him this morning?
Well, no DRT, but we do have
Groovy.
a
Facebook is
DOT coming from the city of brotherly love.
okay. Indeed, we do. And there she is. Um, so Philly store owner shoots and kills attempted robber, police say. Man in his 20s tried to rob a store on the 2700 block of Germantown Avenue at 4:25 p.m. The owner pulled out a gun and shot him 5 times. Doesn't say what kind of gun, but it doesn't really matter when you got 5 plugs in him, right?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this could be a DRT. We could we could trade it kind of like a TKO in boxing. You didn't actually knock the other boxer out, but you
But
you were
you
gonna.
whooped his ass.
Yeah, I mean, 5 shots. That's a quick response time from an ambulance and some highly trained medical personnel right there. That's what
Yeah.
that is. Because 5 shots, well played, well played indeed. And yeah, don't rob stores. Like, how hard is this? Do not kill. Do not rape.
Rape.
Do not
Do not
steal.
steal. So, yeah. So, the I mean, it's a short story. The guy got greased because he was stupid. Um, and I kind of suspect that what may have happened here, shooting the man 5 times. I'm gonna go out on a limb and just guess that we're talking about a 5 round revolver, and the shooter just went ahead and emptied it because five's an odd number. So yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and guess that he emptied a 5 round revolver. Maybe it was a 6 round, more traditional wheel gun, and 1 round missed. Maybe the 6th round just went over the body as it fell out of the way.
Or maybe he did the double triple tap. Pow pow. Pow pow pow.
Okay, okay. Double tapping a Mozambique. I like that math. That's solid math. I think maybe we went live on Facebook for a minute there and then got kicked off.
Well, yeah. Facebook doesn't like guns.
So, um, not really switching gears, but there's not much to this story. So, we want to talk a little bit about gun safety this morning. Um, this from the Lord of War. Gun safety.
I've never seen this movie.
You've never seen Lord of War? Oh man, Crowder and them talked about it on their show yesterday, and they put it down quite a bit. I really like this film actually. Um, but I mean, you talk gun safety. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it, right? And frankly, that's not it.
The trigger discipline. The trigger discipline. Let me tell you, I think I just shot Marvin in the
I think I
face.
shot Marvin in the face, man. Oh shit! I think I shot Marvin in the face. So
We ought to have shotguns for this kind of work.
let's talk about trigger discipline. Hey, there's Hillary Duff walking down the street. See how she's holding her pistol case?
That's that's somebody that's been to a gun safety class right there.
Yeah,
Took it to heart.
yeah. She wears a MAGA hat on set.
Does she really?
I don't know if it goes that far, but kind of yeah.
I mean, because she just got even hotter.
You're welcome. Um,
Yeah.
so
So,
you got a story to tell us.
oh yeah, yeah. Yesterday, I had a little experience with gun safety. I've talked about before on the show that I do pest control and I primarily service apartments. And there's some other things that I do, but mostly what I do is apartments. And protocol for what I do is I go to the office of whatever apartment complex. They have a list. These people have called in and complained and said they saw cockroaches or they saw ants or whatever. And then they hand me keys to all the apartments. And I bet the smart people already know where this story's going. I take my list, I take the keys, I knock on the door, and y'all, I knock loud for reasons that will become clear very soon because I want you to hear me because you know I have a key to your apartment. I count to about 20 and then I knock loud again. If I don't get a response to the second knock, I pop the key in the lock. I crack the door open. I actually shout out into the apartment, pest control is in your house. Well, I was at this charming place in Atlanta. Draw your own conclusions from the type of charming place I was at from that description. And I followed that exact protocol. And as I'm creeping the door open and sticking my head in, this guy leans out of one of the doorways and puts it right on me. He's less than 10 feet away, and he's literally got a gun aimed at my face. We're close enough where he wouldn't have missed. And of course, I beat feet. I mean, I got out of there. And this guy actually followed me and the maintenance man who was walking around with me outside and proceeded to shout at us as though somehow this is our fault. First things first, guy had his finger on the trigger. There's this weird time dilation thing that happens in moments of stress where everything goes real fast, but everything goes real slow at the same time. And I was able to drink in every detail real quick. Like the guy was wearing blue shorts and had his finger on the trigger. People, don't be this guy. Guys like this are what give the fodder for the left when they say not everybody should have a gun. Because I mean, seriously, just question, just a thought. How often do bad guys knock? And then, how often do bad guys have a key? Like, if I had.
Are you trying to say that nefarious intent was counterfactual to this occurrence?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm trying to say. And look, I'm not saying there are not some con artists out there that won't do things like
Oh, certainly.
pretend. Yeah, I mean, people will pretend to read your meter, and what they're really doing is walking around your house seeing if any of your windows are unlocked and stuff like that. I get all that. But that's pretty obviously not what happened here. And let's be real clear about rules of gun safety. My dad taught me three. An NRA certified instructor would say that he missed number four. But the three rules that my dad taught me: first rule, this this is your safety. The
Yeah,
safe
keep your booger hook off the bang switch.
Yeah, there might be a safety on your gun, but that is your gun safety. Your safety as a responsible gun owner is this: if you don't put this on the trigger, it ain't gonna fire. It's not. It's just not. And it's real cute in movies where they show you, oh man, somebody dropped a gun and it fired. Like the scene in True Lies where Jamie Lee Curtis drops the Mac 10 and it bounces down the
It rolls
stairs.
downstairs. That's hilarious. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, not at all. You could literally drop a gun off the Empire State Building and it would ruin the gun, but the bullet ain't coming out. It's just not. It's not how it works. Um, I, I dare say that gun manufacturers are incentivized to make sure their products work in an extremely detailed and specific way. The second rule of gun safety is there's no such thing as an unloaded gun. There's not. You treat every gun as though it's loaded. Even if you yourself have cleared the weapon, you still treat the weapon as though it's loaded because it only takes one accident. Now, if you follow rule number one, you will probably never have that accident. But just the same, treat every gun as though it's loaded. And then there's rule number three: the only time you point a gun at something is if you intend to shoot it. Period. End of sentence. It's not funny. It's not amusing to wave your piece around. Again, that's dangerous. Less dangerous if you follow rule number one, but still very, very dangerous. And this guy, I mean, he basically violated all three rules of gun safety. Now, the NRA has got the fourth rule, which is basically check your target. Um, and I'd say that in this case, the fourth rule definitely applied. A guy wearing a pest control uniform is not the target.
No, no, Rod. He did not spray the apartment.
Oh, yeah, Rod's asked. No, 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 no. No, I left. I left. And I immediately called my supervisor and told him I will not go back to that apartment. And my supervisor said, you are correct. Nobody from the company that we work for will ever go back to that apartment, period. And what you need to do is go back to the office and tell the office, nobody from my company will ever go back to that apartment, period. Guy could have the worst roach problem in the world. Oh, well, maybe you can shoot the roaches away, you moron. Like, I am a father of four children. What if something had gone wrong? What if he'd blown my jaw off? Is he going to take care of my kids? Is he going to take care of my wife? Well, no, no, he's not. He's going to be in jail for killing somebody. Negligent homicide, manslaughter, whatever. So, part of what I really wanted to say and bring up in all this, and yeah, by the way, I did kind of have to change my pants after that because, whoo, buddy, that was.
did he get your attention?
Oh yeah, I was awake. You think coffee will wake you up? Nah, firearms will wake you up, buddy. Woo.
I wouldn't know anything about that. In fairness, I once slept through a J dam. Oh, yeah. So that's a
Might be
thing that happened once.
that might be part of why you're deaf. Or you might
I
have
was about to
already
say,
started going deaf, and that's what
it may have
allowed
been
you.
because I was deaf that I slept through the J Dam. That's more probable.
Okay, but in all seriousness, gun ownership is a right, unequivocally. And it's not because the gun ownership itself is the right, but it's the ability to defend yourself from threats that is your right. Absolutely. Then I'm actually going to go ahead and say gun ownership is also a privilege. What an amazing, fantastic tool. Because all throughout history, sure, you could have swords, but the bigger, stronger people usually better with swords. You could even have bow and arrow. But again, the bigger, stronger people were better with bow and arrow. It just is what it is. If you've got a 70-pound draw on a bow, a little 110-pound woman in some village somewhere, she's going to have a real hard time firing that bow. Ah, but guns. Do you have the ability to wield it? Bang. That's all you need. So, gun ownership is a privilege, and it should be treated as such. Don't be like this moron. Because if there's enough of these morons out there, the left, the anti-gun people, will continue to have arguments against guns. My supervisor suggested, maybe, maybe, maybe there is a point to the folks who say not everybody needs a gun because of morons like that. And my counter was, oh no, I disagree. I think everybody should have a gun because
Because of
moron
morons like that.
because of morons like that. Like they will be demoroned either by persuasion or force really quickly. Because this guy was just trying to be some big Billy badass. That's all this was. He's just trying to make a point. I probably woke him up and he was pissed. And he was just going to show me how macho he was. Well, good luck, buddy. I hope you didn't have a rodent problem or a roach problem, because it's now not my problem because you threatened my life. If I ever point my gun at a man, it's not going to be as a threat. It is going to be as a promise. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that as though, oh man, I am John McClane up in here. No, 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 no. That's not it at all. A gun is a tool and it has a specific use. And, you know, you use a shovel to dig a hole, or you use a gun to shoot a bullet. So, anyhow, that's my personal story. Gun safety, people, treat it like the privilege that it is. Don't don't be dumb about this. So yeah. Oh, the time of the experience with the moron rod was about 10 a.m. And trust me, at the very charming apartment complex I was at yesterday, 10 a.m. is early.
Yep.
So that's all I got.
Yeah, that's the show today. We will see y'all Monday morning. Be safe out there. Wear your masks. Wash your damn hands. It's time to go to work.
And don't point your gun at people.
Yeah, don't point your gun at people. Don't do that.